Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at 4-hour and 15-minute entries, okay? For those that are new, we've already done 4-hour and 1 hour and 4-hour and 30-minute. Now, I want you to notice that when we use the 15-minute time frame, it's going to be more aggressive, so we don't need to wait for as much confirmation. Now, the reason for that is on the 4-hour, if we're waiting for confirmation, what you'll notice will happen is we're going to have bigger stop losses with bigger ranges, okay? Not bigger ranges, sorry, bigger stop losses. The higher the time frame, the bigger the stop loss. The smaller the time frame, the smaller the stop loss. Okay, that's the theory behind it. With the 15-minute time frame, what you'll notice is that our stop losses are going to get much smaller because we're going to be entering much more aggressively. The trades that we're going to be looking to take are going to be things like 50% pullbacks. So that will be based on momentum trades. So if we have a strong momentum trade, we're looking for a 50% pullback of that trade or thereabouts, and then look for the sell. We're also going to be looking for breakouts and breakback into structures with slight retests and then continuations. And we're also going to be looking for everything else that we are trading, which is just, of course, a break and retest, trying to get a tight entry. We could play with consolidations using the 15-minute time frame, because what we're trying to do is just manipulate our entry so that we can get our take profit within 1 4-hour candle or less than 1 4-hour candle, okay? So we're going to test this out. We're going to see how this goes. Today I'm going to do it live, back testing, and we're just going to go down to the 15-minute time frame only. I'm going to try and hammer out as many trades as I can along with my thought process. Questions can come at the end. Now, because I've seen the results of what's going to happen now, I know there's going to be a double top at this structure. I'm not going to take this trade. I'll just wait for new structure to develop, okay? Questions, please save to the end, and please do not come forward and talk over this recording, okay? So let's continue. Now, obviously, I know the results of this because I've seen it. I know the structure's going down. But what I'm looking to do is find the entries. So one thing I want everybody to start playing with, and something that I'm going to introduce, I'm backtesting it and it shouldn't take me too long. I want us to start drawing our trend line. Not our trend line, but our resistance line in place. Because we trade like this, and the minute this gets violated, we then look for a change in direction in the market. So how about once the market starts to change direction, we just pop this in as guidance for us. I think it's a good idea visually, but I don't know how it will play out with everybody else, because then everyone will start doing trend lines. But we're not here to talk about that. Let me just figure it out and see what happens. So I definitely know we could have had an entry here, but I know the results of this, so we're just going to continue. So at the moment, there's no trading opportunity. What I'm noticing on this chart is that there's a potential reversal happening. I can see the strong push to the upside. And what's evident is that prices fail to break the structure. Now, remember, I don't use support and resistance. I'm looking for market structure behavior and patterns in terms of what is happening right now. Price attempted to push up, failed, attempted to push up again and failed. This is potentially indicating bearish pressure. Not so much sell bias yet, but bearish pressure. That being said, what we can now do is we can slightly look to the left. Remember, we don't draw the line straight across. Once we've got the confirmation after the evidence, we can draw it like this. Now, at this moment in time, it means nothing to us, so we're not going to focus on that. Here is what we're focusing on, current price action. So let's continue. I've now got it in my head that potentially we can look for sells. I'm not worried about all this support and resistance, because for buys, I'm only looking for price to break this and then continue up. I'm not going to buy into structure that I know we're potentially going to find some sort of trouble. So for now, buys make no sense to me. Sells only, just looking for evidence. So we keep attempting to break to the downside. We're failing to do this at the moment. This just means that I won't get into sells just yet. I need a strong candle to the downside to break the structure eventually to indicate to me that the sellers are in this market. As you can see, this is just drawn randomly just to account for as many wicks as possible and just identifying this area that price is failing to break below. Okay, this is enough for me. So we had the break below the structure, and this is indicating strong bearish pressure. All I need now is price to pull back, give me 1 4-hour candle close with a wick, and then I'll go down to my 15-minute time frame to look for a trade. This is what we call an advanced entry, because normally we're looking for this clean structure. For anybody that's new, I want you to focus on this. For those that have been here for a while, we can now start to look for advanced entries in and around this area. Now, I want to make a point. Actually, I won't. Let's continue. I just need that 4-hour candle closed. That will do. So now I'm going to use this candle as my guideline to look for a trade. This is not resistance. This is just an area in the market where prices reacted to previously, giving me potential opportunity to get into the market if we get a pullback. That is all. If we don't get the pullback, then I don't take the trade. What I'm now going to do is go down to my 15-minute time frame, and I'm just going to start to try and understand the behavior of this market. So this is very promising. At the moment, we have a strong push. This was the area on the market where price fell to break below. Do you remember? We finally had this break below this structure, indicating strong bearish pressure. I now would like to see price continue to trade below this level on the market where the rejection happened, and then look for continuation sells to the downside. Just bear with me 1 second. So just to repeat, I'm just looking for price to trade below this line here. Now, the way this is visually on the 4-hour time frame, and you must try to remember this, was an area on the market where price fell to break below. Then what I was looking for on this market was for price to show me continued bearish pressure. Because at the moment we're stalling, meaning I'm not buying, not selling until I get the evidence. We finally have the break below this structure, and we now have one 4-hour candle that's pulled up and left a wick. This to me is indicating that this level now is a strong level on the market where I want to see price trade below in order to look for a selling opportunity. Because we're on the 15-minute time frame, you will notice that we are going to start to potentially create this structure based on the 15-minute time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, this possibly could just look like this, sideways stepping down. If you understand the behavior of the 4-hour, 15 minutes is going to be a doddle for you. We have two options now. We're waiting for price to come back to this level, or we're waiting for a lower high to be formed, but with enough evidence to take the trade, okay? So let's see what happens moving forward. This is a 15-minute time frame. Jeez, this is long. I have to use the 4-hour in conjunction with the 1-hour. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here pressing buttons for donkeys. So let's see what's happening here. Okay, this is a good sign. A strong push to the upside. As long as price is trading below this level, that's all that matters to me at this moment in time. Okay, so what I want to see here now is this structure seems fairly good to me, to be honest with you. But because price is broken above this level here, what I want to see is a lower high formation being formed on the 15-minute time frame. So I want to see price now get out of this sideways moving market, pull back, and then create some sort of structure like this. Or again, potentially come back to these levels and then continue down. If I don't get the evidence, then I'm not trading it, especially with this market moving sideways. This no longer is a lower high. If you identify this level here, this level here, this level here, this level here, and now look at this level here, it makes zero sense to take this trade right now. So we're just patiently going to wait. I don't know where my drawing's gone. Let me go back one. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Right, let's go. Okay, again, I don't feel to take the trade, so I'm just going to wait patiently. Now, this looks very promising. To be honest with you, it looks very promising. I think now we can start to look for a trade. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. We have a push to the downside. We still have nice rejection on this level. Yeah, I think we can take this trade. Let's give it a go. 15-minute time frame. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So let's take this trade and see what's happening. This is 15 pip stop loss on the 4-hour time frame. This is already pushed. 1-hour time frame, we have a candle closed. This at the moment is too much of a big entry. I'm looking for price to pull back to in and around these levels here for a 10 pip stop loss. So notice now I'm not going to take that trade because just visually it doesn't work. What I need to see happen is price pull back into my stop loss range now for a sell stop opportunity. This is just too big. So now I just want price to pull back into this level enough. Let's see if we can have a break of the structure and then a continuation down. Okay, let's see if we get this shift. Okay, no entry, no entry, no entry, no entry. Oh shit, okay. Guys, just visualize that we got into this trade, please, okay? So price came back into the stop loss range, into this major area on the market where we identify the rejection. We have the structural low, lower low, lower low, lower highs, lower highs. Price is now pulled back into this level, and now we're triggered into this trade. With 15-minute entries, because we're playing with 1 4-hour candle, you must get to break even as soon as possible. Okay, so we're looking for a 10 pips movement in this market to go break even. Okay, break even trade, job done. Now, once this trade's break even, no emotions attached, we just let the trade play out. Okay, please mute yourselves, guys.
Bro.
No questions, please, no questions. Questions at the end. Okay, so we got a break-even trade on this, no problem. Let's continue back to the 1 hour and just check this out. So we still have now, oh, something's boiling up here. Anybody recognize this? Let's clear it. Anybody recognize this pattern? Well, no, don't answer the question. We have this forming, okay? Cheeseman. Jokes aside, I know it seems like I'm making a joke about this every day, but this is super powerful. Let's see what's happening on the 4 hour. That's completely fine. I think we are ready to run this now. I wish I got in this trade earlier, but this is a 15-minute candle close. I need price to come back. Come on, cut me some slack. I need price to come back to this level, and I'm all over this. Okay, done. That is me. I'm in. 14 pip stop loss. Oof. It's not too bad on a pound pair, to be honest with you. I'm in this trade. I feel confident. I'm seeing on the hourly time frame, we have lots of rejection at the double top of this lower high. 4 hours indicating a structural double top, break a previous structure, lower high formation here. And let's see what happens with this pair. Maybe I should enter this with a sell stop, actually. A sell stop. This stop loss is too big. I cannot keep doing this. I need price to come back up. It's too big. Just can't do it. Just because I want to take the trade, you just can't do it. This looks better now. Our target now to the downside is fine, expecting a lower low. By the time we get into some problem areas here, we can go break even. That's all well and good. 4 hour. Closes rejection. Okay, fine. So I have to be strict. This is what we're doing. We're now waiting for price to come back into this area in the market. Do this and then shift down. Sell stop entry only on this entry. Damn. Okay, we continue to move this over here. Stop loss above the structure. This is fine. Yeah. Cool. Okay, if we get the shift now, we're going in. So this is interesting. Remember what I spoke about at the start, a false breakout and a break back in. We may have to shift our stop loss if we keep going higher. That's fine, no problem. So now, because this has happened, we take off our sell stop and we just continue to monitor the chart. Is this a false breakout, break back in? Bollocks! So hard doing it on this trading view. So we had the break back in. I'm cheesed off. Sorry, no emotions, right? I'm just gonna take this trade. At 2 to 1. I've missed the majority of this move. Is this gonna work against me? crazy sideways movement. Let's go to the 1 hour and press it forward. Okay, fine. Take profit hit. All right, let's move on. That was kind of throw off, that was. But it was very interesting to see that break out and break back into structure. Very, very interesting. And it happens all of the time. Anyway, move on to the next trade. We spent way too long on that. But if you identify here now anyway, guys, we can clearly see price action breaking the structure, creating this here for the advanced entry. Technically, this is not how we wanted to enter this trade. So let's just remove this. We just will continue with the analysis and look for another entry on this chart, okay? So now I'm looking at the structure as price failed to break below, finally broke below. What I'd like to see now is on the 15-minute time frame, price pull back to make a low high formation and then look for some sort of continuation. Let's head down to the lower time frame and figure this out. So we do have beautiful structure that we're working with at the moment. We can clearly see price is pushed. It has made a lower higher here. This is fine. We're not planning to enter this trade because we're too late now. But what we're looking for is for price now to pull back in and around these levels. And then we'll look for the shift in momentum back to the downside. The higher we get, the better our stop loss, okay? I think we can take this. Feeling pretty okay about it. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. 15-minute, 1 hour. What's happened here? This is huge rejection. 15-minute, what is my gut saying? Down, lower high, 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 high of the structure. 4 hours now indicating a break below the structure, push. This would have been a nice entry here. Anyway, we missed it. Another push. I think now at this push phase, we need to see some sort of exhaustion. So we're just going to look for the exhaustion. And then after this, we'll take a trade. So for now, no entry. Let's just wait patiently. We have now, I want wicks to the downside. Yeah. I think we can now look for entries on this pair, 15-minute time frame. I now want to see a lower high formation of this structure here. So let's see if we get it. Push down. Actually, I think we can take this. We should have gone in one candle before. That's fine. What's our stop loss? Ooh, beautiful. Now we're getting somewhere. 8 pips on this, 24 on this. Let's be realistic. Is this an 8 pip stop loss really? No, it's not. It's a 9 pip stop loss and 27 pip target. Okay, let's work with this. Fingers crossed. We have the push of the structure, the pullback, the structural high indicating bearish pressure. Double top of this structure here. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. I'm going to go to the hourly. I can't. 15 minutes too long. Okay, I don't know if we've got break even. Okay, well, happened too fast there anyway. Let's continue. Cheese on peas. This is unbelievable, huh? This is why I don't trade GJ. Okay, take profit here. This pair is wild. Absolutely wild. It's on steroids, man. Damn. All right. So notice with this trade, okay, what we're looking for, we've got an 8 pip stop loss. Now, You know, when you jump down to the 4-hour and hourly time frame, usually you're looking to take trades, something like this, and then a 1 to 3 down here. What I want you to identify is the difference with the entries on this. I mean, 25 pips for GJ is very good if you're trading it. But notice the difference between our entry and stop loss. And the only way we're getting these is using the lower time frames, okay? But at the same time, what you have to identify is the structure that's forming on these time frames. The aim of this, when you take these trades, is you want to be getting in up at these areas here. And the only way to do that is to use the 15-minute time frame. So notice, if you're going to take the 15-minute entries, you are not entering down here. You are entering more often than not at wicks. And then that's why you'll probably hear some people say, well, how did you get in so high, or how this and how that? Well, I'm going to tell you now. 2 things. You either entered because you just slapped sell or buy, or you entered because you know how to use the 15-minute time frame to your advantage. 15-minute time frame is going to give you the earliest signs of price failing to break structure, but you can only work with this using the 4-hour time frame. Now, yeah, I think that's enough said here at the moment. Now, notice I'm not focusing on candle formations, bullish, bearish, pin bars, shooting star, doji, all that bollocks. I'm just focusing on getting a safe stop loss as high as I can. If I could get up here, this is perfect. The only difference with this entry now, as opposed to being instant execution, is going to be what? Sell stop entry. Okay, so let's continue to take some more trades. I mean, that was a bit much, to be honest with you. Sitting in that trade, but I'm telling you, that's because we're trading GJ. Okay, we are trading GJ, and this pair is bodyboard. Let's continue. Now, at the moment, I'm identifying this price as not broken the structure. Okay, bear with me a second, please. So price hasn't broken the structure for me. I'm not going to try and manipulate it like this. To me, it just seems that price is hovering around this area. So I just need clear confirmation to be able to take this trade. And okay, well, there you go. I have something here. So let's see what happens. We have a breakout break back in. So for those that are new, you will know that I do not trade this. This means nothing to me. This is not a retest. This is an indecision candle. A candle side by side after a breakout. And like this, to me, is just an indication that the bulls tried to fight, the bears tried to fight, and nothing happened other than the fact we've just gone back into this area. So for now, I'm still seeing this market as a consolidation. This market is sell bias only, so I'm not looking to take any trades until I get the evidence. Right, now we have the break of the structure indicating that price attempts to break to the upside. This is how I redraw my charts. I wake up in the morning and this is it. Okay, done. Indecision here, that's fine. Breakout of this structure, finally we have the close below. This is a momentum candle, so this would require an advanced entry on this trade. All I'm looking for now on the 15-minute time frame is for price to give me a lower high formation, and I'm selling this market all day long. Oh, maybe we didn't get it. Fine, let's continue. If we get a lower high structure now, we'll take the trade. Let's see what is happening on the hourly. Nope. I need price to pull back and give me a lower high formation. To be honest with you, I feel I can take this trade. I feel comfortable to take this trade. Again, stop loss is a tiny bit too big on this. I don't know how to explain this to you. Obviously, I'm going off of what was moving sideways. We had the breakout, break back in, the attempt to break to the upside, the fail of the major structure, strong impulse candle to the downside, expecting continued momentum. Can I take this trade? Can I? Impulse move back to the downside. This is a rejection. This is push. Nah, the stop loss is too big. I have to just stay strong, man. Have to stay strong. Okay, fine. We stayed on the 15 minutes for too long. Let's get back to the 4 hour. So at this moment in time, we have the rejection wick. We're now starting to see indecision. I just need price to pull back now to give me another entry on this trade. So in and around these levels here for a continued momentum trade. This will do. Let's get to the 15-minute time frame and let's see what's happening over here. Right, now we've come back to this level. So thank God that I waited patiently. We've come back to a major level on this market. This is in about 1/3 of the 4-hour candle. Let's see if I get, yeah, I don't know what color this candle is. I think it's green, who cares? I just need the rejection. This is all about trusting your analysis, guys, and understanding the structure on the 4-hour time frame. I will take this simply because we have a very small stop loss. So I'm just going to work with it, see if we get an entry. At the moment, we are in the middle. We only get triggered in with a momentum shift. We're triggered in. Okay, I need one more candle. I think I can safely go break even on this trade now. And yeah, I mean, oh, it's close. Okay. Oh, we're failing to break the structure now. Okay. Okay, now at this point in time on this trade, my thought process is this. I feel confident we could hit take profit, but we never know. At this point in time, I will be taking off 50% of my position, 1000%. I'm very satisfied with this momentum shift to the downside. I feel very confident about this major level. Now we've broken one area in the market where price failed to break below. This is not 15-minute structure. This is 100% higher time frame structure. I just recognize it. You guys, if you don't recognize it, go back to your charts. Now we have an area in the market where price may find problems. Do I really want to be this close to my take profit and not take 50% to then risk all of this and give back to the market? Don't think so. So for me, this is what, can't even see it if we have a 10 pip stop loss. Yeah, 20 pips, okay? Almost 20 pips. So that's a 2-to-1. I think that warrants 50% taken off the market. Let's see what happens with this trade. Okay, take profit hit. Job done. Now, again, just to recap, this was price action failing to break structure. So we had a breakout, break back in indecision. Price attempt to push to the upside, failed, indicating bearish pressure with a close below previous structure. Would have loved to get in here, don't know what happened. Price then continued to push to the downside, strong momentum. All we're looking for now is price to pull back into 50% or 1/3 of our level and then look to get as tight as we possibly can. Remember, I said what we're trying to do is take advantage and manipulate one 4-hour candle only. This is very powerful when you can learn it, but very difficult and frustrating when you're not getting the results you need. So just be patient with it. We'll continue to play out and see what happens. Again, I'm just following simple market structure, which is down. So at the moment, there's nothing to go by on this. This push to the upside looks very attractive. However, I don't see a wick, so I'm not bothered at this moment in time. Actually, we have a cheese man. Right, so you guys ask me this question all the time. Am I drawing it like this and viewing this as a break above? I'm just going to account for this area here and just see price stalling. If I do this, we have evidence confirmation. We have a retest of a previous high. Now I just need a very tight entry. If I get one candle to the downside, enough to give me confidence that it's failing to break above, then I think I'm in. Jeez. This is going to be too much of a big stop loss, I believe. Let's try it. Yeah, it's too big of a stop loss. You know what I should have done? You see, I'm always learning every day as well, just like you lot. Trust me, this is what I should have done. I had enough confirmation that there was bullish pressure in this market at this time. So if it was going up, I would have never got triggered. Then I should have felt confident enough to know that if price continues to push down, then I would have gotten this momentum trade. See, this is why I'm telling you guys, doesn't matter how good you think you are, you always have to be practicing, man. Okay, so we didn't get the sell stop. We can't take this candle because it's way too big. Let's just see what would have happened if we were concentrating. I think this warrants a break even at this point. Okay, fine, break even trade. Questions for me that I'm thinking about now is if I was in this trade and I did execute as a sell stop, again, remembering this candle was down here, I'm 7 pips to risk 25 pips, probably taking 50% off this market. Anywho, we didn't get into that trade. Let's continue with the analysis. Notice we have a downward moving market that has not been broken or violated yet. This means I am looking for sells only on this pair, okay? We have an indecision here. Push the downside. Geez, I mean, could have used this area in the market to look for structure. Look, I missed this. Did I? Think so. This is 130. Previous one was a push to the upside and then momentum shift down. Was it this area here? I've lost it. Push to the upside, momentum shift down. Anyway, look at this entry here. We missed it. Anyway, don't matter. And that was just based off of before our candle. I can't remember now. Let's just continue. So studying this structure, we have this break, indecision, break back down. This is a strong momentum candle to the downside. We have the evidence of the bulls attempting to push up and failing, attempting to push up and failing. We now have come back to a level on the market, which is fairly strong, in all honesty. I wonder if we get a higher low formation on this structure, just following this momentum on this trade. Let's take a look and see if we can form something like this to happen. Oh, it's gone. No, not yet. If I have one candle to the downside, I think I could take this. This is even better. How are we on the time? One more for 1 hour close. Ooh, okay. Please don't be above 15 pips. Okay, cool. Let's have a jab at this. What? 39, my bad. Oh, this seems a bit far-fetched, but we just need a break-even trade. That's all that matters right now. Question that I'm thinking about right now in my head is, do I take this trade aggressively? I have the lower high formation that I'm looking for. I know we're still in the down structure. We do have a slight break of that last 4 hour candle, which closed below this level here. Not amazingly, but now I have this stop losses insurance above the previous wick and a major error in the market. Let's just take the trade. Oh, okay. We got break even on this trade, okay? Just visualize that as break even. Okay, let's see. This is good. Okay, so again, same thing. Price comes down here. I'm taking 50% off of this thing. I'm only running 50% of my risk now with 50% profits. Now that's a joke. In real life, obviously, that's take profit. Okay, job done. Yeah, job done. Let's continue on to one more trade. That looks like a gap down in the market, actually. It does look like a gap down. Anyway, so notice again, we're just continuing with structure. We have price showing evidence of a lower high formation, price failing to break below the structure. It was much more clearer on the 15-minute time frame. Again, we have a slight pullback of this candle, and then looking for a lower high formation on the 15-minute time frame to enter this. Now, the reason why I say this, and I think this is very good for you to identify, is more often than not, and I'm so glad we don't have any colors on this, right? More often than not, if price action is going up and you have a strong candle to the upside, more often than not, I don't know how to give you the accuracy, but more often than not, you have another candle that is as strong as. So what you're trying to identify is structure to be formed on the 15-minute time frame. So if you're looking for a buy, you're identifying strong structure, and then on the 15-minute time frame, you're looking for price to pull back, to make a high, pull back, and then make a higher low of that structure, but with enough evidence. And this area here, the higher low on the 15-minute, is going to be this wick here, this wick here, this wick here. Now, if you're entering on the 15-minute time frame, let me tell you, you probably will get more break-even trades than you've ever had in your life, but you're also able to take advantage of very quick trades and also very big moves once you master it. And there's a trader in our group, you probably know him, his name's D Mobstar, and he is the master at this. Okay, but I don't advise it for those that don't understand 4-hour market structure. Let's just continue on and see what's happening over here. So we have continue push to the downside. At the moment, there's no trades to warrant a trade here. Too much rejection. Okay, I think we could possibly look for in and around this area here if we get the evidence on a lower time frame. What I'm looking for, as I've just mentioned now, is a push from this level, a lower high, and then a continuation, okay? Okay, trade aborted, nothing's happening over here, back to the 4-hour. Now, this is a question on this chart. Are we having a push to the upside with potential rejection as a lower high? Now, this is more cleaner as opposed to aggressive, which we've been trading. Let's take an attempt at this and see what's happening. So for this, I just need price to do this one more time for me, and then I can potentially take this trade. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. Is the hourly closed? No, just opened. So we have a push on the hourly as a bullish candle. Not yet. A break back into structure. I think I can risk this. This is the lower high formation. I think I would take this as a last trade and go with it. Just feel confident. We have strong bullish pressure, bearish pressure at a major level in the market. All right, I don't have the lower high formation, but just feel confident. I think if the shift in this 1-hour, 4-hour candle can push down enough for me to get break even, then I'm satisfied to take the trade. 36. This is an instant execution trade right now, and based on this push to the upside, push back to the downside. Okay. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Maybe I should have just waited for that lower high formation, but at the same time, it wasn't wrong that I took that trade. I just felt confident enough. But remember, I said I'm looking for price to push down, make the lower high, and then take the sell. Well, sometimes you have to just go with what you feel, and sometimes you have to listen to your conscience. I think this warrants a break-even trade now. Yeah, I don't think it does. We're looking at 12 pips. Okay, yes, it does. Let's wrap this up at 12 pips. Break-even trade. Okay, what would have happened? Eventually. All right, who cares? Break even trade. So I hope that was enlightening. Let me just round this up. Now, I'm going to structure this a lot better when I'm back home, guys, for you. But just enjoy the content as it is. We're looking for aggressive trades with momentum, okay? So slight pullbacks to 33%, 50% of candles, whatever you're comfortable with. Once you identify this, then what you're looking for is for lower high formations to be formed on the 15-minute time frame. This is very important. Now, the key is to try and get in at the wick areas on the 4-hour time frame. This is vital. If you can do this, then this just gives you more insurance in the trade to have much safer stop loss, and then to manipulate, take profit with only 1 4-hour candle. Sometimes you may be sitting in longer, but this is what you're going to try and do. The next thing you're going to focus on is major areas in the market and look for price to break and violate structure, break back into structure, and then create a retest and then a continuation. This is also very important for taking 15-minute entries. The final thing that you're going to look for is clean structure on the 4-hour time frame with 1 4-hour candle close, and then again for price to come back into this level. Now, you have options. You can wait for price to show a strong level and break it and then close below, or you can take an aggressive entry after you get 1 4-hour candle close and then start looking for the cheese man. The cheese man is a push to the downside, a structural high, a fail to break the low, a retest of the lower high, and a continuation. And then for buys, of course, you're just looking for this in reverse, okay? Push to the upside, a fail to break above, double bottom, and the continuation. The cheese man for me is sell bias only because I only take sells, but I'm just illustrating that to you. So I think I've covered most of it. Of course, I'll structure this much better when I get back, as I'll be redoing the course. But for now, if you have questions, let's answer them and go from there.
So Rox, am I right in saying, so basically this is for when you have those situations where you get that 4-hour close, which shows sort of signs of rejection, and then you don't get another maybe hours and hours of price staying within that region. You get a momentum down, and then what you do, you go to the low time frame and start looking for evidence of lower highs, lower lows being made, or higher highs, higher lows being made on the lower time frames, and then try and get in one of those regions.
Correct. So just visualize this with me. If we have a downward moving market, price shows that it's broken structure after a period of time. Remember, the next 4-hour candle is going to be green at this point. Okay, it's green, it's green, it's green. So what you're going to do is you're going to then start to identify on the market in and around the 50% and 33% mark of that candle. You then drop down to your 15-minute time frame, and what will start to happen is if these areas on this market is failing to break above because of this strong candle and expectancy for a continuation, it will start to form this structure. So the power of what you'll be identifying is price failing to break above, then the green candle will start to push down to leave a wick, which will create a lower high, and these are the entries you can get in, okay? The next thing that will happen is the green candle will start to push down red and then push back into structure and still fail to break above. This pattern will then look like this, which is the cheese man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another question, if you miss the first lower time frame lower high, can you get into the second lower high that you see on the lower time frame?
Amazing question. Amazing question. So this is why you guys need to participate, because as much as I know all the answers, I don't obviously teach everything because it only comes up like subconsciously when I'm trading myself. So great questions. Now, if the bearish candle looks like this and the range of the candles on GJ, majority of them look like this, do we have enough room to continue pushing down? If this is the range, compare it to here, do you think we still have enough room to move down?
Yes, we've got a bit of room there.
Right. Now, the answer to your question is if you miss the lower high and a new lower high is being formed and the bearish candle is still showing you that there is enough room to move down, you can take the second one.
Okay.
If the bearish candle is showing you that it's strong like this and you missed the first one and you want to take the second one, I would think about it twice, because more often than not, price could retrace or price could stall.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
Yes.
Great.
I'm guessing also it kind of depends on what the higher time frames are doing by that time as well.
Well, remember, you're only going to execute on the 15-minute once you've got this direction or this direction. And that's it. Once you've got direction, in this area here, there's probably multiple opportunities to enter the trade. Yeah. However, if you see this rejection on this candle here, and then you see a lower high being formed, well, this ain't the best example, but follow this example here. Just be mindful of how big the 4-hour candle is when you're about to enter. This is why I said, more often than not, you want to get in as high as you can, because by the time you get in, the candle is green or is starting to retrace. The more confirmation you can get, the higher probability of winning is going to be. Okay, just bear that in mind.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions? And great questions, bro. No questions? Everybody's satisfied? Now, I know that's a lot to take in. You probably will have to rewatch this a few times. My advice is if you're experienced enough and you understand market structure and you want to try this, again, the rule of thumb is go and take 100 trades, 0.01, or go and backtest the hell out of this. As illustrated by one of our members yesterday, they done 100 trades, won 30%, lost 33%, and broke even the other percent that was left. But imagine that 30% win rate and still managed to profit 202%, which was about 500 to 1,535. Absolutely epic. The only way you're going to trust the process of having a win ratio like that is to execute 100 trades and start to build the faith that you need in order to become a consistent trader. No one come back to me in the next day or two and tell me this is not working, please. And I say that respectfully. Go, if you want to try this, and take 100 trades. Okay? Last time I'll ask this, anybody have any questions?
Rob, can I ask you something quickly?
Yeah, Chris?
That trade that you explained now, if you take the second lower high on the 15-minute candle, is your stop loss going to be the same as if you took the first lower high? The stop loss stay the same place?
Very good question. So remember, what we're looking to do is not how small we can get our stop loss, it's how safe we can get our stop loss. So we're not going to drag it up here above the first lower high. Makes zero sense. Because our aim and priority is to try and manipulate getting in and out within the 4-hour candle. So our aim is now to see this candle that has already pushed up to then just complete. Excuse me, this is wrong. It's getting all messy now. Let me do this here. So once we have identified that the 4-hour candle is starting to reject, we've missed the first lower high and we plan to enter the second lower high. What we need to do is we need to try and manipulate the rest of what this 4-hour candle has left, which is a final push, which is this here, okay? So that means that if we enter the trade here and put our stop loss above here, the disadvantage of us winning this trade becomes greatly increased because we haven't manipulated the 4-hour candle. We are only now working with the rest of this candle. So what we want to do is get in with a stop loss above this lower high, anticipating continued momentum shift so that by time price finishes closing, look what happens. Either almost take profit or we are definitely at break even. Does this make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Cool, great question as well. Back testing time, baby. All right, great. Sorry for the interruptions, but however, I think it was a good session.